So last weekend I went to the Elliot Erwitt Retrospective in Brussels, a very cool photo exhibition with all the famous pictures of Elliot Erwitt. And what I want to share from this experience is a couple of quotes that were on the wall that I found quite inspiring, and a couple of personal thoughts when I was browsing the pictures, and that I want to share in today's video. The first quote: "I rely on intuition, a bit of luck and a bit of skill," I think is a very nice quote to start with, because oftentimes in photography we tend to overthink. Take photographs of the things that attract your eye. Don't try to copy other people's work, but really try to things that you notice as a photographer, try to take pictures of that. That will go a long way. When it comes to skill, I have a small example here where I took a action basketball shot. Now, I played basketball for 20 years myself, and I think by having that experience on the court, that can translate very nicely in taking pictures of the action off the court. It's like this particular moment where you have someone taking a jump shot and at the exact time releasing the shutter is a moment that I can anticipate because I knew how it was being on the court myself. And I think that type of experience is something that you can leverage and use in your photography as well. The second quote: "You first get a sort of a frame and then wait for someone to fill it." This is also a quote that resonates very much with me because it's a certain photography technique that I personally use a lot as well. When I'm walking the streets, I often try to notice how the light is behaving in a certain area. And as soon as I see a nice patch of light, a scene that really draws my eye, I oftentimes spend 5, 10, 15 minutes waiting for a subject to interact with that scene in a way that I find visually pleasing before releasing the shutter. So it's not that you just go shooting, just running around and then shooting things left and right. Oftentimes you need a bit of patience, you need to pause and just see how subject and scene interact with each other. This first picture, for example, is early morning in a park in Brussels. I saw the morning light hitting this scene perfectly, and I was just waiting for a commuter to walk into the scene at just the right time and grab the moment. Another example, in a train station, broken window, but as soon as I saw it, I knew that I wanted to align a subject with where the converging lines come into that same point. And it was just a matter of waiting a couple of minutes for someone to stand at the exact right position before releasing the shutter, resulting in a photo that filled the frame the way I envisioned it.
In many cases, there's a whole story which is best described in several pictures rather than in one.
So basically making some type of movie, but not with 24 frames a second, but only using 2 or 3 frames. There is a book entirely dedicated to this approach. It's called Sequentially Yours. It's a book that I really want to pick up now because I find it truly intriguing and inspiring. And the day after, I tried to do something like that myself. It's not the best result yet, but it got the creative juices flowing a bit. What basically happened is a bird flew against the window. It dropped to the floor and immediately flew to a nearby fence to recover, basically. So it spent like 10-15 minutes there. I basically wanted to capture this small story in a couple of frames. So as a first frame, I took the impression or the mark that was left on the window itself. And then I took 2, 3, 4 photographs of the bird on the fence itself. In this first one, you see that its head is pointed a bit down, eyes closed, really trying to recover. And then I have one where the eyes are open again, head is raised and he's almost ready to fly off. Unfortunately, I didn't get my final image, the bird actually flying off. That would have been perfect, but it's certainly a technique that I want to try more in the future. I really try to be aware of something like that happening and not just solely focusing on one killer shot of a particular scene or something that happened, but really try to build a narrative with 2 or 3 frames. I think it's a very nice way to mix it up a bit and try something new with photography. Number 4, the greatest success is to stir some kind of emotion, do it quickly and without gimmicks. In the exhibition, there was this one picture of one of Elliot Erwitt's wives and one of his children as a baby. It was a very beautiful, very delicate moment. So in my own photography, when capturing family moments, this quote really resonates with me because of the fact that if you want to capture real emotion, it oftentimes is a candid moment. So it has to happen quickly, without too much fuss, not too many staged things. It's just trying to notice the moment when the lighting is right, the moment is right. You observe something happening or unfolding as you are witnessing it. That's the moment when you want to try and capture those photographs and bring them together. And the last thing that I want to share is a small part of one of the documentaries that was playing. It was basically Elliot Erwitt explaining that he always had some type of accessory with him that made a funny noise in order to get people's attention, or getting dogs to point their ears up. So it's small things like that that can disarm people and spark some type of emotion or some type of attention, which I think, I don't practice it myself, but I think it's a very cool tip to think about and take with you. A small unconventional accessory can be a huge help. So this is it for today's video. I hope you got something out of it, and thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.